So I'll do a quick instructional video how to put Retrobat on, add some games. I'll give you a few tips and bits and bobs that'll help you buy, probably help you get your little collection started up, give you a bit of help how to search for the artwork and stuff. If you're new to the channel, I'll really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. We'll be doing all retro stuff. I'll be doing giveaways, drives. When I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away something else. I've undecided yet. It's probably be a 2 terabyte Retrobat or battery system. With my Retrobat system, 8 terabyte, it's literally finished. I'm just finishing off one system on it, and then I'm going to go and make a 6 terabyte system out of it, which I'm going to I'm just going to go a little bit somewhere different, but I'll show that when it's built. But anyway, I'll speak about that another time anyway. But anyway, let's get on. Let's install Retrobat. So onto the old internet. Retrobat. When you click this, it's going to say this is the old website, so I don't even know why they just don't get rid of it and link it to it. But so now anybody who's got Retrobat and it's version 4 and it needs updated, and you've realised it's not been updated to the 5.1. If you want to update it, you have to put this patch into your install folder where Retrobat is, run it, and then go into Retrobat and click the update, and it'll update itself. If you're installing it from get-go, like, you can download it straight away to 5.1.1. But if you're stuck on version 4.4, you have to download that. But as we're installing from the go, we'll go. Name your price here. They're asking for a little bit of money. If you haven't got to, I've donated because I think they do a really good job of it. So I've given a donation. But it's entirely up to you. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. It's free, but it's just a bit of a thank you to all the work that they do, because it is really good what they do with it. And they're always updating it, so it helps them. You go to 5.1.1, stable download. Show in folder, which sometimes doesn't work. So, downloads. Retrobat set of exe. Okay. I'm going to put it on here. I believe we've got a folder called Retrobat there. Just install. So this is exactly from scratch. I've not installed anything. This is exactly how it is. So we'll load it up and we'll have a quick look. Just bear with me. I need to shut my window so the cars aren't as loud. Like that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that music. Turn the front end music off. Right. So these, how many does it put on front start? It only puts 3 games in on Retrobat. And they're literally, I think it's like a clone Minecraft game, sort of like a Bomberman type game, or whatever that is. But anyway, user interface settings. So if you go to, excuse me, you want a screensaver on this sets it exactly how I like it, to be fair, which is I like the random video on the screensaver, and I like it to show you the game information at start and finish. And basically what that does is it just tells you the name of the game at the start and end. So you might see a video playing and you think, oh bloody hell, I remember playing that, I can't remember what it's called. That'll tell you. On Batasera it doesn't set it up, on Batasera it sets it up as a dim screen and basically it just darkens your window. But Retrobat sets it exactly how I like it, so screen saver, random video. So what we'll do firstly is, now if you go into updates and downloads, themes. Now the themes are basically how it looks, how the game menus are, and there's all these different ones here. They're all free, they're all just, you click them, download them, and they set themselves up, they populate the games into themselves. Some are better than others, but there's some really good ones in here. There's they put new ones on all the time, but I'm a sucker and I've always preferred the Artflix, which is this one. So we'll install the Artflix. That's my favourite one. And then you've got the Bezel project, which is basically the borders around the game. So if you come in here, once you've put some games in, it will recognise what games you've won, and it'll try and find the borders for them. So you've got all the individual borders for the game, which I think makes it look really good. So that's downloaded. We shall now go on to UI interface settings, and we change the theme set. You can download all that, they don't take up a great deal of room. You can have a look through them and see which ones you prefer. And now that's the one I like, the Artflix. Now the picture moves as well when you stay on it. So now with a lot of these, like the last played and stuff, some people won't want all them, and I don't like them all on. So press start. You can go down to game collection settings, systems displayed. You've got ports and Retrobat. Ports I wouldn't keep on because there's free games in it or whatever. They're just not worth it. Retrobat I keep on because I'll show you why in a minute. That's where all your emulators are kept. Automatic games collections. So this is where it puts them all on. You can have your never played games, 2 players, 4 players. You can just put whatever you want on. And also once you start putting all your arcade systems in, there'll be more populated here. There'll be all the different ones for the different, like Sega arcade and stuff like that. Well, I take all these out. I just leave favourites on and all games. And when you go back, it will reload, and then it's just left them ones on. So, red button. Once you've got some games populated in here, you can jump to each like manufacturer. So you could go down to Nintendo, Sega, Sony. There's a bit of a quick jump there to it. Start again. Let's see if there's anything else. Obviously your controller, you can set all your controllers up in here. You can, if you want to set your second joystick up or whatever else, you just press that. It's on the default Xbox controller. It will automatically recognise the Xbox controller, but you can set different controllers up. You just go in, click it, click map. I don't know if we can map from here now. Controller mapping. Right. Hold A button. So just copy what it says. Up, down, left, right. Up, left, left trigger, right trigger, left stick press, right stick press. Now your hotkey I have as the Xbox button on the Xbox 360 controller. You can put that as your select key or your back key or whatever controller you're using. But you use that, whatever your hotkey is, you can use it with start and it will exit the games. So if you press obviously your back key, then it's going to be your back button and start will exit games. I have it as the Xbox button. Right, so that's your controller setup. You can mess about with it a bit more. This is where all your emulators are kept. If you haven't got the emulator, if you go to load a game and it's not there, it'll ask you if you want to install it. It'll just download it through the Retrobat. But this is where you can come in and change all the settings and stuff that you can't really change in the menu. You can come in and change them all in here for everything. But what I shall do now is I shall copy some games over and get a little bit of a collection, and we'll have a look at scraping them and stuff. So right, we've got a little test folder here with a few different collections of games. There's not many, I've just stuck a few in each one. I'll have a look at them. I'm going to copy them all over in one go. So you come into, I'll go a bit slower there, sorry. Into your Retrobat, into your ROMs folder. That's where all your games are kept. Now, some of these, I don't believe it tells you on Retrobat, to be fair. Some will work as a zip file, some will have to be unzipped. It depends. On Beta Sarah, it's got an information file in the folder that tells you what games, what type of files that the emulator will accept. It doesn't look, I didn't know, but Retrobat doesn't do it. But anyway, if you've got an old drive somewhere and you want to make a Retrobat build up, this is where you're just going to copy your games over. Obviously, these will be called something different. If you had Hyperspin or something else, they'd all be called by the proper names. Obviously, this is sort of, obviously, that's your Philips CDI. Commodore 64, you'd have to make sure you put them in the right place. They're not all labelled up as they are like a Sony PlayStation and whatever. That's your PlayStation 1, there's your PSX, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, obviously PS Vita, which is new emulation that's just starting to pick up a bit of steam now. That'll be up and running decently, I believe. It looks a bit how much it's coming on. But anyway, I'm going to copy these over into that. It's a 30 gig, so it shouldn't take too long. And then we'll go into Retrobat and have a look. Right, so now we see we put the games in. That's not letting me move because I've not clicked on it. But we've got some classic DOS games there, some Xbox games, 3DS games, PlayStation 2 games. Right, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape them, find the artwork. So what I'll do firstly is, if you come into an individual system, like we'll go into the Xbox. No, I won't. In fact, I'll do it on the DOS, because they've been named better. Right, press your start button, go to Scraper. Scrape now, if you scrape from Screen Scraper, you can go into the settings, add for a 3D box. Logo source, that's basically add for the wheel on there. It's more, it looks better for me. You get like a if you go into the marquee, you get like a square box around it, and I think it looks a bit crap, to be fair. And on the image, I go for a screenshot. Make sure your video's ticked. I don't bother with the manuals. You can do the pad to key, but you know, it's a lot of them don't find it anyway. So, but now if you go into an individual game, if you hold it, click it, and just want to click the one, you can click scrape, and it's going to try and find whatever it can find for that game, which is that. Now, sometimes that's only found a picture and a logo. Now, sometimes what you find is, whereas that's got a little hyphen there, some will use a full colon. So it depends how it's called up to what artworks it's going to find. Sometimes that game might be registered like 4 or 5 times in the Screen Scraper system, or with a different way it's written. You know, like a different way the titles are, whether it be a full colon or the 007 might not be on it, or so we'll have a look just at license. I don't know whether this is going to work, but sometimes it pays to delve a little bit deeper, and sometimes it takes a bloody forever to scrape like this. But no, it's still just found the same way. See, sometimes you'll find doing something like that, you'll find that extra bit of video, which I will prove on this little video. So you click it and it'll download it. There we go. Now, so if you want to download it as a full system, so you're not going to mess about with each individual one. If you come into Screen Scraper settings, I'm going to put my password in, and then I'm going to obviously not show you that. So yeah, to do a batch search, a batch scrape of all your files, your game files, you'll need to go to Screen Scraper. There is a couple more different ones in there, which Screen Scraper is the better one. Sometimes the other ones find stuff that Screen Scraper doesn't, but as a rule, you're better off coming to Screen Scraper. It's French, so a lot of it's in French, but I believe, yeah, it translates it anyway. So you come in, you can register your account. That's my account, obviously it's not showing your password. But you can come in, you can register for an account, and then it'll ask you to confirm it, and then once you've confirmed it, you can go into the Screen Scraper settings, add your username and password, and then you can, if you come into the scraper then, and instead of doing an individual on the game, you click Scrape Now, it's going to try and find everything in the DOS collection, which is 6 games, so it's going to search what it can find. So there we go, we see scraping finished. We can update the game list to apply changes. So come back, press start, game settings, update games list. And now it's found whatever artwork it could find. Been found. Doesn't seem to be finding many videos, but DOS doesn't have a great deal of videos. The thing with them is you can add all your own image files and videos anyway. So if you come into the edit games metadata, you can come in here. Say if you did your own video of the game, a bit of playing on it, or you can get a video from elsewhere, you can come in here, you can click, choose where it is, and it will associate it to it. And also with the images, if you've got different pictures, you can get some fan art of the game. You can put it on the sides, basically. You can put whatever in you want. So let's quit it back after that. Sorry, let's have a look. Afterburner. I can't believe it hasn't found something for Afterburner, and it might be as simple as that it's got the space in it, and Afterburner might not. That's what I mean. The thing is, when you're scraping, there we go, just found it straight away, you see, and it's because it didn't have a space in, and that was just a guess at that. That's for the Atari ST. Amiga might not find it for the DOS version. Afterburner 2. MSX. Right. But I'll just put the Amiga one on that for now. But same again, if you really wanted the artwork, I believe the more artwork the better. I think it makes the system, to be fair. The more artwork you've got, more videos you've got. So I go when I build one for myself, I go really in depth on it. If I didn't have that main video there, or that, obviously there's the Amiga box down there, I would go and source a picture of the MS-DOS box and I would put it in myself. It's not on every game, but it's what I'm starting to do on most of my stuff. I believe that, like I say, I believe the artwork actually really makes the system and makes it look 10 times better. So, and also now, if we need the Xbox, then the 3DS and PlayStation 2. If you want to do it all in one go, instead of going in and doing one system like I've said, if you do it on this menu here, press Start, Scraper, Scrape From, and also in this you can go into, was it in there or? Oh yeah, systems included here. So we know we've got DOS, so we can turn that off. If you only wanted certain systems to scrape, you could turn them off in here, and it will find them. So we'll leave DOS off. and I'll scrape them and then come back again. So that's everything scraped up. The Xbox now we've got as things. Obviously I've not changed that, but the next thing what you'll want is you're going to need the BIOS files for all the different systems. Now I'm not going to tell you where to find them, but they obviously, once you found them, they go into this folder here. That's where all your BIOS files will go. Now if you want to know which ones you're missing, if you go to system settings, is it in front? No, it's not, it's in game settings, sorry. You can check for what BIOS files you're actually missing. So that's the only one. If you haven't downloaded your BIOS, that will be a great list and it will tell you each file name and stuff what you want. So yeah, Batman and the crash tag are both XBE files, which is your original Xbox file, and then they run on the CXBX Reloaded emulator, which hasn't got as. I don't believe it's being worked on anymore. To be fair, I think it's not been updated for a long time. The better emulator ZEMU, but that runs ISO files. It doesn't run the XBE files, so you have to change them to the ISO files. That's one bit of software that can do it. There's a few more. If you Google it, it'll tell you how to convert them from an XBE file to an ISO file. It's fairly straightforward, but basically it adds that. It's the software is obviously called Mullet, Xbox Mullet or something. So it's basically saying it's been mulleted. So when you go to scrape it, you'll have to go to the import and just remove that, and it will find what it can. Like I say, the one thing I will say when you're scraping, never give up, never think, oh, it's not going to find it. If it's like, for instance, the DreamWorks game, sometimes it doesn't find if you put the name of the game. If you were at DreamWorks, then it will find every game, every DreamWorks game. So basically, you might write Up or The Incredibles and then it won't find it. And then just type DreamWorks and then it'll find everyone and you'll find it. So if it doesn't find it by one, try a different part of the title of the game or whatever. If it's like Tomb Raider Anniversary or Tomb Raider whatever, just delete everything and just put Tomb Raider in, or Splinter Cell, you can just put Tom Clancy's in and it'll find every Tom Clancy game and stuff like that. You might type in Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow or Blacklist or whatever and it won't find it, but if you type in the Tom Clancy's, then it will find it. I believe that is that one there. Same again, as all they've got there is the box and the logo. So if you wanted to, you could go and source your own video, you can go and source your own thing to pretty it up. You'd come in here, like I said again, click on video, image is what it's behind the back of the logo, where it's put the actual box there, and it's put the actual box on the screen because that's all it's found. So it basically just shares it to them all. But I'll just scrape these last couple, and I will be back. So everything's scraped up now. As much as I'm going to do on this little video, like I say, you can go in depth, you can go and find any videos or images that it doesn't find and manually put them in yourself. I was going to do DOS, I'm not going to mess about with DOS, I'm going to do a bit of a tutorial video on DOS to show you some tips and tricks. So, Xbox. So what I've got here is, like I say, I've got two ISO file games, which is Blackstone and Blood Rain, and then the Batman and the Crash Tag Team Racing are XBE files. So if we press back, we can go into advanced system options. The emulator should be automatically set for ZEMU, which isn't going to work with the XBE files. You haven't got much what you can do basically on that, and when I go to click it, I'm assuming that the emulator isn't downloaded for it. It might be. There you go. ZEMU's not installed. Install it now. Yes, it shouldn't take long. It's a quick thing. And now it's going to say you need to insert an Xbox disc. ZMU now that it's been worked on is really good. You can literally come in here as you're playing a game and change your resolution up as quick as that to see how, you know, how far you can push it with your computer. It's getting a lot better now. I mean, Xbox emulation's never been great, but so obviously that doesn't work with that. So what we need to do is come into the advanced options, game options, change it to CXBX, which I'm assuming again isn't downloaded, so then we can try and load that one up. CXBX is not installed now. It's a shame that they stopped updating this, because it's fairly decent emulator when it's working, but it's not got a great compatibility. But when it works like this one itself, it looks really good. It runs good. So we'll quit out of that. So is there any other advanced game options? Now I'm in the CXBX. All these options here will be for the CXBX emulator. So you can change the resolution in here. You can put vertical sync on. I don't think that makes much difference, to be fair. Can improve performance, but might break some games. There you go. It's not even worth messing about with for me then. But if you wanted to try it on if you wanted to see if your computer could run at a bit of an higher resolution, you can either do it in the game or click it on go in the emulator and do it and emulate itself. But if we go into advanced game options, let's try it on 4 times, which I don't know whether that's like 1920 with 1080 or. But basically, you can go in there and just push it up a little bit, see how fast your computer runs it, see if you start getting audio stutter. Make sure everything runs right. This isn't the best of computers. It's only got I've still never upgraded from my 1080 Ti. It's got an i9 10850K, I believe in it. I can't remember what processor in it now. This is my main PC, what I'm using.
On slow nights, I come over to Crime Alley.
I don't know what exactly resolution that's set as.
Some call it purgatory.
Then I've got no control there as well, so I'm saying that it started now. It just took a while to start. Needs to be running fine though. I can't hear no sound because I've got the sound turned down so it doesn't override the video. Quit out. Now Blood Rain is for the ZMU emulator, so it should load straight up because this is an ISO file. And then, like I say, we'll go into a new game. We'll start loading it. ZMU's come on leaps and bounds. It's took a long while to get Xbox emulation anything like. Like I say, as you can see, that's probably standard resolution there. You can see how blocky it is. So you can literally come straight up to here. Try it on like 5 times. You see how instant it just quickly changes it straight away. It's so easy to push your computer to as far as you can take it. I don't know which, I've only got a 2550 by 1440 monitor. I don't know which resolution's which on it, but that's running fine. But yeah, ZMU nowadays is really good. There's you can change your discs. I don't know if there's any 2-disc games for Xbox, but you can do it all in here. It's loads better now. They've done it. They're really updating it good. So hopefully before long it'll be. I think it's got about 60%, almost 70% compatibility now with the game. So it's getting really good. So we'll have a look at the 3DS next. Dead or Alive Dimensions. Now, let's go into this. We've got the 2 different emulators. I found some games work with this the Liberto, which is RetroArt, and I found some games work with the standalone Citra emulator. I'm going to put it on that in a minute. So in here, obviously, advanced system options. If you want to change it for all the games, you can come into here. Say if you want to try it on 720p. Emulation, it's just region, videos. Video, right, you can change your screen layout position in here. I prefer a large screen and a small screen, and I believe that's all I changed on that when I'm using Citra. So let's try again all our dimensions. Now obviously if you want to change any options in this one, you have to go into the Citra emulator. If you use the core for RetroArt, you can go into your RetroArt menu and change it. I found the standalone Citra where I'm using the mouse here. It's you can see it works really well with it as a mouse pointer. Where I think with the RetroArt ones, you can get a bit of trouble with it, like swaying and moving on its own and whatever else. I think from the start it doesn't actually work. You have to go mess about and turn it on in the menu and stuff. I believe this game as well. I can't hear the sound, so I've got it turned down. But I'm assuming you get a really bad audio stutter, and it's like it's not going to work. And then you play the actual game and it's just your own phone.
Okay.
Disgraceful! You actually expect to be our leader someday?
Father!
Forget about your brother. Focus. Ready yourself! Now, your turn. Strike back. Now, kick. A strike is more than a single punch. You must overwhelm your adversary with attacks.
The game actually runs fine on it. To be fair, some of these 3DS games look really good. There's quite a few decent little games on it. I'll quit out of that. And then I'll try this one, but I'm going to go in and try certain games. If you try and load in, it doesn't work. If you come in, you can try the emulator, and we'll try it on the Liberto this time. Now you've got all your different options here. Game aspect ratio, internal resolution. We'll try it on 720p again. Video, screen layout positioning's there. Large screen, small screen. Now, sync audio, controls. Show mouse pointer. Yes, I don't believe. Do this with the mouse. I don't believe that pointer works on this, but when I tried it, I'm sure it didn't. We'll make sure we've got nothing missing there. I'll try and load it up. When I'm going onto that screen, that mouse pointer is just disappearing. That's when games working. Like I say, you can come in, because it's RetroArt, you can come into here, go into the options and have a look to see what we've got in here. Resolution scale factor. So I've got that set to the right analog function touchscreen pointer, which I used to have set on it on Batasera. It's set onto that, but it's not showing the pointer to do it. Now I don't know if it's something I'm missing, but simulate touchscreens. Simulate touchscreen interactions with touchscreens. We'll try that. See, now if I'm using the right thumbstick on my other monitor, because I've got two monitors set up, that is actually controlling the mouse, but when I go onto the main screen, it's not showing the pointer, whereas I chose it to come on. You can still play the games, obviously, if they you can just use the buttons. But also, I don't believe that that is changing the resolution, so I don't think that any of the settings that you're doing outside of RetroArch there are working. See, that's... yeah, you can tell straight away that's made it look loads better. So I wonder if we come out, advanced game options, we go down to controls, show mouse pointer no, because it's clearly not, or I will put it on auto. So I can't see what else it can be. Controls. No. So there's nowhere where you can turn on to show the pointer inside the emulator or something. Unless it's something I'm totally missing. Unless you can do it actually in the options here at the start. So yeah, I have no idea. Probably something I'll have to check into. I can't say if I'm using the right thumbstick, the mouse pointer on my other monitor is moving away. Straight away as I try and come onto that, it's not working, which is a pain in the ass. Anyway, so there's your two different things. I'll have to have a look into that. Somebody else might know that you can change that. But like I say, if there's a game that you want to play and it's not loading up, you can try both emulators and have a mess about with each. Right, so lastly, PlayStation 2. I'm just going to have a quick look at changing the settings. That's about all you need to do with this. And obviously that's computer dependent, how powerful your PC is. But what I find here is these free games here are probably three of the most demanding games. There is other ones as well though. But if you sort of set these free and get them all running perfect 60 frames per second with no stuttering or anything, I'm pretty much every single PlayStation 2 game is going to run absolutely fine. So you press your back button, come into advanced system options. Mine's set to 1440p. Obviously you choose one. If it starts, you get a bit of slow down, drop it down onto 720p, or same if you're running perfect to 720p and you think you can push it, try it 1080p or 1440. Obviously if you've got a monster of a PC, you're going to be able to play it at 4K and possibly even at eight times as well. But so you've got your internal resolution. I like on the PlayStation 2, I prefer to have them full screen. Game aspect ratio, I'll put at 16:9. You have got the widescreen hacks, which will be in here somewhere. I believe they're on the beta Sarah. I'm not 100% sure about. Remote shoots. Visual rendering. Might just be me not seeing it here. But I'm pretty sure it's in there. You'll find a widescreen axe which can break some games, but I think for the mass majority of it, it's okay. And obviously you've got your different back end here which you can use. You know, whether you're going to try Vulkan, DirectX, your DirectX 12 or 11 to 12. Some games you'll find will run better in Vulkan, some will run better than that. But once you get a niche, you tend to find that it doesn't make a difference. Once you've got your PC, PlayStation 2 set up to where everything's running at 60 frames per second, you could probably flick between either and not see any dips or whatsoever. If you try and push it a little bit further, then that might be where you see some differences. But I go with DirectX 12. Let's just double check. Emulator, shader set, decorations. I don't like messing about with the shader sets, but that's all, again, it's personal preference if you want to have a look at them. Anything you try in it, you just remember what you chose. Once it's set, if it's all set at auto, if you come back and you find something that you've done and you can't remember, you just come back and put everything on auto and then you can start again or whatever. You're not going to break anything by trying different things, basically. So all these, look, I put them on here, I put 4 times and separate filtering them. Useful for games with screen shake effects such as Wipeout Fusion can make the picture blurry. So there's all different stuff you can put on and try. If you find that a game's got an issue, you can come in and try have a look at the different things. What it's got in here. I'd have thought with the hacks, the widescreen hack would have been there. Off-screen, ultimately off-screen. No, I can't see it on this one. Probably just me being blind like normal. But yeah, like you might find a game that you're playing, there's something not working right, and you can come in here and you might find like SOCOM 2 there, or you try Ace Games, you might be playing one of them, and there's something that's not quite working right. You can come in and put that on, and it might fix it. It's worth having a look in here before you try anything else. But anyway, we'll have a look to see how Shadow of the Colossus runs at that. To be fair, I'm pretty sure this takes a good while to start because of the FMV, so I'm going to quit out of that. I'm pretty sure it'll run fine. We'll try Gran Turismo 4. The usual way that you can tell Gran Turismo 4 is the music will be, you'll find a lot of audio stutter on it, but I don't have any sound on my computer at the minute, so I won't be able to tell if it's doing it. But that's what you'd do. You'd load it up, and if you're getting that audio stutter or you notice the game looks like it's running a bit slow, just go back out, drop it down the resolution, or if you put some filtering or anything on, you can go back down and take that down 1 or 2. Like I say, if you get these 3 games running, you can put the frame counter on or whatever. If you get them 3 games running at 60 frames per second, I'm pretty sure any PlayStation 2 game will be running at 60 frames per second. So like with a lot of the less demanding ones, you'd probably be able to go and push it up more, but I tend to on my systems get something where it works on these 3 games, and then I just leave it set at that. You know, they look good enough anyway. So anyway, on this, I believe, let's just try it. I believe it's function 1 now, or possibly not. I thought that was, did you save state? But I don't know. Unless it's set on the wrong emulator. I thought function 1, 2 and 3 was for your save states and to save and to load them. That function 4 seems to be a fast forward button by the looks of it. If you're pressing it, everything speeds up. to look into that. I know it was definitely doing it at one point. That seems to be running fine. I don't know, I can't hear the audio stutter, to be fair. If there is any. It looks like it's running full speed to me. So, yeah, it seems to pause when I press function 1, but it doesn't. I don't know if it's saving the state. So, let me just check something here. Right. So I believe that on Batasera it's different to Retrobat, but I believe the user interface, the draw statistics, I'm hoping that's going to show you the frames per second and stuff. I've never ever put it on Retrobat. Yeah, up at the top. But the save state games didn't seem to work. Yeah, it's basically just this section is just if you do get these free setup right, then your PlayStation 2 is pretty much set up. The same with pretty much any system, any emulator out there. If you use that same theory, like if you're going to get the hardest to run game setup and they're not running perfect 90 at 60 frames per second, then you pretty much. Oh, where's the frames per second on there? You don't see it. Alright, yeah. So yeah, it's running full speed, 59.9, 4 seconds. So yeah, it's the same with all of them. If you go on your GameCube or your Xbox, or if you go a bit further and you put your PlayStation 3 on or whatever else, if you just pick the most demanding games, get it set up so it's running perfectly on them, then you're not going to have an issue with any other games. So that'll start your collection off with what I've shown you. Obviously, like I say, I'm not going to tell you where to find your ROMs. I'm not going to tell you where to find your BIOS files and stuff like that. Google's your best friend there if you want to find them. But yeah, like I say, I'll be doing I'm going to give a giveaway. I'm going to give a drive away when I get to 500 subscribers. So if you like the content, like and subscribe. I know it's a bit rushed and a bit mumbly and a bit unprofessional because I don't plan anything. I just stick the camera on and basically go at it. 9 times out of 10 I forget what I'm talking about, so I don't write it down. I should really script it or just film it and basically talk over it, but I don't have a great deal of time as I work for a living, so I try and get whatever I can done to help out. And if there's any questions, anybody needs an hand setting up, I don't know everything obviously. I've just built my own systems, but I've learned a lot of stuff. Just ask away. You can email me or you can stick it on YouTube. I'll try and, I do respond to every comment that I can. So if anybody wants a hand, if they're stuck with something, it might be a problem that I've ran into and managed to solve or managed to find the solution for online or whatever. So just ask away. But with that, I shall end the video. Thanks for watching.